There are a list of things that I would do if I was president of the United States. For one, I would put an end to GMO and the use of putting in unnatural chemicals in the water, such as fluoride. That's the first thing I would do. Second, not only would I, prohibit the use practice of putting chemicals and passing down genetically modified foods, as well as fluoridated water, but I would make sure that water would not only be fluoride free, but I would also make sure that water would be free for the public. No matter where you go, you can get water for free. That water is not something that we ever have to pay for ever again because water in itself is a natural, basic human right that we have. I would also make sure that when it comes to if I was president of the United States, I would make sure that small businesses wouldn't be taxed so much because small businesses, they're the ones that actually drive the economy. They're the ones that actually boost the economy, so they should be taxed less. And the big, huge corporations like, PetSmart, Walmart, Kmart, all these other places like Sephora and Macy's, JCPenney's, that they would be, those are businesses that have been branched all over the country. So I'd make sure that they'd be taxed a lot and the small businesses would be taxed less because they're the ones that make less money than those businesses anyway. And we need the economy to get back up on its feet. I would put an end to the Federal Reserve because it's an illegal thing that has been put in place in the United States and a violation of the Constitution. Article 8, Section 1 of the Constitution specifically states that only it's Congress's job to coin money, which means to produce currency, as well as promoting general welfare and regulating taxes. So yes, I would put an end to the Federal Reserve, as Ron Paul and Dennis Kucinich bravely spoke out against. I would put an end to warrantless wiretapping through, being wiretapped and listening and people listening into through your conversations over the phone or whether you're on the internet or whatever it may be. And I would also put an end to unwanted surveillance through Argus drones that keep an eye on us every year or so and on a daily basis, because that's also a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So while we're on the topic of the Fourth Amendment, there's something called reasonable search and seizure. And last I checked, since it says reasonable search and seizure, it says it has to be not just reasonable seizure, but there has to be probable cause. So when it comes to the airports, these security procedures, they give you two options: either you go through the scanners, or you get patted down, which is a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights as Americans, one way or the other. So yeah, I'd put an end to the security procedures of the uh, the TSA and the airports that they're doing, which is very unconstitutional, and it's not even seen from a constitutional point of view or whatever. It's just seen as a respect to human boundaries anyway. I'd make sure that everyone will have gun rights. I would make sure that you know that the right people can actually keep and right have will be able to keep and right have the right to bear arms for as long as they're not at risk for harming themselves or anybody else, because this is a basic human right as well, having the right to own guns, as long as you can actually be trusted and you can actually not only pass background checks, but to get notification, but to be able to have a good record, a clean record, as well as having the ability to maintain your composure and to pass that you don't so for you to be to conf- and also to confirm that you don't have any uh, mental disorders that could be a deterrent in how you behave normally. Another thing I would do if I was president of the United States is that I would put an end to political parties: Democrats, Republican, Independent, Green Party, Conservative Party, Libertarian Party, and the so on and so forth. We don't need any of that because political parties have caused nothing more than a divide in the country. And this is something called classism. And I would give everyone the right to vote, even if they're not affiliated with any political party whatsoever. So I think it's about time we actually honored the forefathers, because they're the ones that warned us and told us that you should beware of the two-party dictatorship. And look what we have now. This is an issue in itself. Well, this is one of the many things, of course, I would actually do when it comes to being president of the United States. Oh, and let's not forget, I would actually put an end to forced vaccinations. And a lot of people still think that vaccines are good for you or whatever, and many people, such as myself, are against vaccines because of the side effects that they actually pose. Even mentioned by Harvard University, which actually spoke out against it, I believe. So, yeah, if I was president, I'd give people the choice of whether they want to vaccinate their kids or go without vaccinating their own children. Because vaccinations are forced by law. Vaccinations are actually forced in the United States. That's the problem. So I would not want that to happen. You know, so I would actually change that and instead actually give people the choice of whether they want to vaccinate or not. And I wouldn't give people a penalty or have them thrown in jail just because they choose not to vaccinate their kids, or supposedly, assume that they are breaking the law. So anyway, once again, thanks for watching my video. Subscribe if you like. I'd really appreciate it. And if I could do that, that would be great. But unfortunately, I can't be president of the United States because I was born in Sudan. I wasn't born in the United States anyway. I was actually an immigrant when I was 7 years old. But if I was born here, I would definitely do that if I ran for president of the United States. And I think by ending political parties, making sure that all the troops come home from every country because they don't need to be over there anymore, as well as the fact that, putting an end to the Federal Reserve. Oh yeah, I would definitely put an end to those. Are the three biggest factors that have plagued me and concerned me for quite some time. So thank you for watching my video. Appreciate it.